So, do you love you? Because I went into this not too long ago of where we tell people how we feel about them. I love you too, and sometimes it's just words we say. But do you love you? Are you in love with you? It's a tough question, right? It's a tough question because sometimes our love for self gets mistaken as being, arrogant, conceited, all the different things that you've been labeled in times where you carry yourself in a certain way. But I want to get into this today. And it starts off and says, this is a love letter to the parts of you that refuse to shrink, to the joy that spills over, to the truth that won't stay quiet, to the self-love that makes others shift in their seats. You know how you walk in a room, you ever had this moment where you walk in a room and you feel the energy just shift? Because when you walk in, people recognize that he's him or she's her. Because you're in love with yourself and know that you don't need confirmation from anyone in that room to let you know who you are. I know it ain't just me. I know y'all dealt with it too. Because here's the truth. Even if it makes others uncomfortable, I will always love who I am. And that love is sacred. That love is disruptive. That love is legacy. And when you ask yourself, why does my self-love make people uncomfortable? Let's sit in that for a minute. Why does your self-love make people uncomfortable? Because we live in a world that profits off your doubt. A culture that's built entire industries on your insecurity. When you love yourself fully, loudly, without apology, you break the contract that they have to hold you down. You stop asking for permission, you stop performing for approval, and that shakes the hell out of people. When you are unapologetically you, it shakes people to their core. Why? Why is that? I ask that question because I don't have the answer, but why is that? Your confidence in yourself, your belief in yourself, your love for yourself, it shakes systems. It shakes relationships built on your silence. It shakes narratives that said you were too much, too black, too bold, too broken. Your self-love is a mirror. And not everyone, your self-love is a mirror that everybody ain't ready to look at. Because they don't see their reflection in you. For Black folks especially, self-love is just not personal, it's political. It's ancestral, it's reparative. We were taught to survive, not to shine, to endure, not to celebrate, to be grateful for crumbs, not to demand the feast. Let me repeat that because I think somebody out there today needs to hear this. We were taught to survive, not to shine, to endure, but not to celebrate, to be grateful for the crumbs that are given you, but don't you dare demand the feast. See, that goes into that, do I or should I have a seat at the table? Every table is not for you. Build your own. So when we say I love who I am, we're not just affirming ourselves. We're rewriting the script. We're honoring the ones who couldn't say it out loud. Remember? Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. And there was a whole big kerfuffle. I'll use that word today. A kerfuffle about that when it came out. Because how can you be proud of who you are and love yourself with everything we've done to you to let you know you're less than? And you still feel that way about who you are, even though we've made you feel less than. We're planting seeds for the ones who will. And I'm sure everybody out there has a story of when they made just your presence made someone uncomfortable. And what'd you do with that discomfort? More than likely, you tried to make them feel comfortable because you seen they were uncomfortable with who you are. Don't do that no more. Don't do that anymore. Deion Sanders says a phrase that says, and I don't want to paraphrase it, something to the effect of, don't let my confidence invoke your insecurities, or something to that extent, but let those people be insecure. That's not your problem. Loving yourself enough to know who you are and how you walk and how you talk and being comfortable in your own skin is not your problem. That's their problem if they are uncomfortable with you being in love with yourself. Let them suffer being uncomfortable when you're around. Stop trying to placate to them and make them, hey, how you doing? Don't even speak to them. You know how they feel about you. Stop that. I said it. If you're near a mirror, or the next time you're near a mirror, I want you to do this. And if you're not near a mirror, you can do it right now. Close your eyes and imagine your reflection in that mirror. And I want you to say this out loud. I'm not too much. I am enough. I am worthy of love that doesn't ask me to shrink. Even if it makes others uncomfortable, I will love who I am. Stop silencing yourself. Stop minimizing yourself. Stop shrinking yourself to make other people comfortable with who you are. We were all created for greatness. If those people haven't tapped into their greatness, that's not your problem. That's their problem. If you love yourself enough to know that you have greatness in you and you walk in that greatness, why are you being apologetic to those who have not tapped into theirs? That's not your problem. Stop. I just had some thoughts while I'm talking about this. Of the many times that I've shrunk myself to fit in. And it hurts to know that you and myself at times have minimized who we are and how great we are just to make people comfortable so we can fit in. And by doing that, you've just put yourself in a self-imposed prison. A prison with walls that you've created because of them being uncomfortable with who you are. And you don't realize these things until you grow. And when I say grow, I'm not talking about grow to be old or grow. I'm saying it in the fact of when you grow to the point of you're comfortable with who you are, your flaws, your wrongs, anything you've done in your life, the people that view you for everything you may have done wrong that they see wrong, but you're still walking around with shame because they know what you've done, but you haven't learned to accept and apologize to yourself, that you go into these rooms and because you know that they know the things that you've done, you shrink to make them feel comfortable so you can fit in. And then you wake up one day and you realize if I have to shrink myself and who I am to fit in with that group or that person, I have just put myself in a prison of my own building. And then you realize I'm me. I could give a damn how you feel about me. I could give a damn how you view me. I'm me. And I wasn't put on this earth to make you comfortable. I was put on this earth to reap the benefits of the greatness that has been instilled in me and walk in that light to let people know I am who I am, and I'm not going to shrink for other people just because you want me to shrink so you're comfortable. To hell with that. My advice today is I want you to look at yourself in this manner. I want you to go forward today, and from this day forward, every room you walk into, I want you to make everybody who may know you or don't know you as uncomfortable as possible just by being present. I want you to let your light shine. I want you to stop diminishing who you are to make them comfortable and start making yourself comfortable and walk in the greatness that has been bestowed upon you. See, we only get this ride one time. And if you continue to keep minimizing who you are on this ride, then you really ain't riding. You're just going through the motions. If you are comfortable with who you are, to hell with their uncomfortability. Be you. Be you. And don't ever, ever, ever shrink who you are to fit in to a group with a person that doesn't have your best interest at hand. Loving myself out loud. And don't allow, and here's the other part, and I'm going to leave it at this. I know I can go long on this one. I want to say this to you out there that's listening. Arrogance mistaken for confidence, or confidence mistaken as arrogance, says more about the person who feels you're arrogant than it does about the way you carry your confidence in who you are. Stop allowing people to look at you and think because you're confident in who you are and what you bring to the table or what you bring in that room is arrogance. Because if I'm just being me and you mistake that for being arrogant, that says more about you than it does about me. And stop holding on to that. It's not worth it.